Podsters, what if I were to tell you that there is a way that you can celebrate joy, focus on your priorities, hold yourself accountable for what you feel is most important, and have a boatload of fun along the way? Would you do it? Would you want to do it? You would, Podsters. I know you would. And that's what we're going to cover today. Today, we are covering the why, the how, and the what of your summer bucket list. So buckle up, Podsters. It's going to be a fun, whimsical, and powerful podcast today. Are you ready to speak up, stand out, and get your seat at the table? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to Unmute Yourself, the podcast where you'll get real-life anecdotes and actionable tools for you to step into your strengths, debunk imposter syndrome, truly know your worth, and show up like you own the room every time. I'm your host, Nancy Medoff, who did the thing and followed my passion for empowering women like you to unleash that inner spark and become who you know you are meant to be. I'm a diehard foodie with a raging Skittles habit who will not stop until women everywhere unmute themselves and truly thrive at work, at home, or wherever you may be. Let's do this. Podsters, I'm coming in hot, H-O-T today, and this is a pun and a play on words. I'm coming in hot with my summer bucket list, and let me tell you why I'm taking the time and why I think it's important, if this is something that's at all interesting to you, that you take the time to make your summer bucket list. You know, when you think about all of our to-do lists, and if you were to look around on this desk, you would probably be horrified at how many to-do lists I have going. And when you think about it, how do we make sure that we focus on joy? How do we make sure that we focus on our values? We've been talking a lot about values here lately. How do we make sure that we're focusing on the things that light us up? So for me, my to-do list is usually a task list. And that's fine and that's great and that works for me and I feel great when I check it off. The cool thing about a bucket list or a summer bucket list is that you get to be very specific about your priorities. So for me, you know, as you may have heard already, my word for the summer is barefoot. And my priorities for the summer is to really make sure that I'm spending time decompressing, relaxing. Sure, I'll keep working. My one-on-ones are going fantastic with speaker school. I have a few speaking gigs. I have just the right amount on my plate for a change, which is not normal, which is not the usual for me. I have just enough on my plate so that I can really prioritize my own happiness. And that's incredibly important to me. And it's incredibly important to me that you are able to focus on your own happiness. So that's why I'm doing a summer bucket list. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. A list is about accountability, right? You make the list and then you check off the list. So here we're celebrating milestones rather than to-dos. We're celebrating specific areas that we want to focus on that make us happy. And then we are able to cross that off the list and look back and say, wow, I made myself, or I made this summer, or I made this bucket list a priority. So here's what I will tell you before I get into mine. And I'm going to share 15 things with you that are on my bucket list for the summer. This is actually really cool. I did some research on this. There are all kinds of templates and checklists, and I saw one that was really cool. This is on Pinterest, where you make your list and it's combined with a calendar, which I think is kind of fun because you have your list. And then if you'd like to, and if this will help you be more accountable, you schedule it. I think that's kind of neat. That's not my jam. As many of you who have worked with me before or know me know that if you tell me I have to do it, I'm probably going to have a little resistance there. So I like my list. I'm going to refer to it every now and then. I'm going to make it fun. I'm going to make it colorful. I'm going to include my partner. I'm going to make sure that I include things to do with my grandkids on this summer bucket list and some of the kids in my network and my community and the kids that are in my life, because that's important to me. And I'm also going to make sure that I focus on myself too, because, you know, the last thing I want is for this bucket list to become a to-do list that I feel pressured and, this is supposed to bring me joy. and bring me joy it shall. So, Podsters, without further ado, I'm going to give you my top 15 things on my bucket list. I would love to hear about 2 or 3 things that are on yours. You can DM me. You can respond in Spotify. On Instagram, my DM is Nancy_Medoff. You can always find me on LinkedIn. I am on Facebook, Nancy Medoff at nancymedoff.com. Basically, any way you think you can try to get a hold of me, you will get a hold of me. And I would love to hear what's on yours. So with this, as we approach Memorial Day weekend, which, as a reminder, is about celebrating our freedom and those who fought for our freedom. And also, it is the unofficial kickoff to summer. So here we go. Number 1 on my summer bucket list is to research and perhaps purchase or borrow or try out an electric bike. I have a beautiful, brand new, lovely, state-of-the-art bicycle in my basement. It has not seen the light of day since I took a spill a few years ago. And I think I'm going to sell it. And I think I'm going to instead look at getting an electric bike. I know nothing about them. I don't know how expensive they are. I know very little about them other than I want one. So that's number 1. And this is, by the way, not in order. Number 2, there is a very cute and fun drive-in movie theater about 10 minutes from where I live. And I have never been there. And every summer I say, I'm going to go. They run like really cool movies. They run Jaws. They run all the summer classics. And they also have, up-to-date movies. So that's what I'm actually going to schedule with some friends. And we're going to make that a priority. Number 3, I'm going to finish my oyster shell runner that I have been making. I've been making a lit up oyster shell runner, which is kind of cool, but it's just been sitting there for like a year waiting to get finished. I am going to make myself a little spa day at the house. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I have a pretty cool deck that I love, and it's very peaceful. We bought a waterfall feature that's kind of cool. And I had some friends come and visit me a couple of years ago. And at one point, we were hanging out on the deck, and they said, would you mind if we don't go to the beach and we just hang out here all day? It's so peaceful. So I'm going to do that. Usually when I sit down in one of those lounge chairs, I look around and I look at all the things I have to do. I need a new roof. I need to paint the siding. I need to trim the trees, whatever. I am going to make a specific conscious effort to schedule a spa afternoon for myself just to relax and enjoy all the hard work. Danny and I worked really, really hard to get our home to a place where we can enjoy it and we feel comfortable and we feel relaxed. And then I don't enjoy it because I'm too busy running around trying to make it so I can relax. So I'm going to relax at the spa at home. Okay. Number 5, this is kind of a gimme, but I want to make sure that I schedule it in here. So the other morning I woke up pretty early and the sun rises at about 4:30 here in Cape Cod, on Cape Cod this time of year. And I asked Alexa, I said, what time sunrise? And it was 5:15. And I said, you know what? You have enough time to get up, get a cup of coffee and go to the beach and catch the sunrise, which I used to do all the time. I haven't done it. So I did. And if you have not caught a sunrise over a body of water or just a sunrise, there is no better way to start your day. There is no way you can have a bad day when you started by watching the sunrise. And if you can watch it over some treetops or a body of water or anything, it's incredible. So I'm going to make sure I catch more sunrises. I'm also going to continue to catch sunsets. That's something that's really important to me and Danny. It's one of the reasons why we moved here, because the sunsets are so beautiful and just we're surrounded by water and it's gorgeous. I am going to play volleyball on the beach. There is a group in my town who gets together. I've been invited before, and I hope that they will invite me again, hint, hint, who play volleyball on the beach. I am not was it Gabby Reese? Was that the famous volleyball player? I am hardly a great volleyball player, but I think nothing says summer as much as a bunch of people tossing around a volleyball on the beach. So I'm going to do that. I am going to make s'mores outside with small people. I don't know which small people yet, but I think that could be super fun. I am going to make sure that I have at least 1, if not 2 or 3 beach bonfires. That's something that's pretty easy to do around here, and we don't do it that often, and it's one of my favorite things to do. In fact, you might remember I did that for my birthday last year. So why am I waiting for special occasions? Why not go have a beach bonfire on a Tuesday night and just celebrate being alive and living in this beautiful place? So that's another one. Number 9, I want to have a picnic, like a picnic, a picnic on the grass with some sandwiches, maybe a bottle of wine. Maybe I'll even go up to Boston and do it at the Boston Common. I did that once oh my gosh, I did that many, many years ago with Danny. Maybe I'll bring that back. I think that'd be super fun. It's just fun. It's just so relaxing. Gonna catch a summer concert outdoors. Very easy to do where I live and something I love to do. Oh, this one's interesting. So I have a 3-season porch that I make it in the winter. I kind of trick it out and turn it into a praise ski lodge. So I have like faux shearling and stuff like that. And I have all these, like antler candles and stuff like that. And really, I kind of make it into this après ski lodge because we don't use it in the winter. We weren't using it in the winter because it was cold and had all our summer stuff out there. And, it just wasn't practical. So I've done that, and that's been super fun. And what I would like to do is the flip side of that is in the summer, spend as much effort spending time and entertaining out there on this little 3-season porch as I do in the winter. Ironically, I spend more time in there in the winter now. So I want to do some dinners, I think, I call it the lodge, dinners in the lodge, but make it fun. Like, I don't know, twinkle lights or little breezy curtains. I don't know. That's number 11. Number 12, and I know you were waiting for this, frozen Aperol spritzes. I'm just going to leave that there. If you need the recipe, DM me. I actually put it out on Instagram last year, and it was one of my most popular posts. Happy to share that recipe. And you can make it non-alcoholic if you prefer to keep that as a mocktail. I am going to make a new friend. Podsters, it's not easy when you get older to make new friends. You can make acquaintances, sure. Making new friends, not as easy. So that's going to be a priority for me. I am going to have a garden party. Are you sensing a theme here? Like, I think I want to just spend a lot of time outside with friends. I did a garden party a few years ago. It was really fun. And what I mean by that is I just kind of set up a bunch of chairs, invited a bunch of people over, had some food and beverage, and just had a great time out in our backyard, which was super fun. And then last but not least, one of the local businesses in my town, they do a lot of effort to have what they call Sunday Fun Day. So it's a day when the community comes out, they have music, they have oysters, they have all the things, and it's super fun. And usually by Sunday, I'm like, oh, we didn't go to Sunday Fun Day. So, I've caught maybe a couple, and I really want to make sure that I participate in those. So Podsters, it's a shorty but a goodie. I encourage you to think about your summer bucket list, and perhaps it's less whimsical than mine. You could say, this is the summer that I find a new job. This is the summer that I make my full-time, my side hustle, my full-time career. This could be the summer that I, take that step, whatever it is. I have all the tools and resources for you if that's something that you want to do. Join my confidence community. I have one-on-one coaching, all those things. And also, this may be the summer that you say, you know what? I've worked really hard all year, and this is the summer I'm going to relax. I'm going to look around, and I'm going to enjoy my health and my happiness. That's what I'm doing this summer, Podsters. My wish for you is that whatever's on your bucket list, that you take a few minutes to write it down, really just helps you focus on priorities, and you can hold yourself accountable. So with that, Podsters, happy unofficial kickoff to summer. I love you, and I will be back next week. Can't wait. And until then, peace out. That's a wrap, Podsters. And before we go, I ask you, what's one thing from today's episode that you will use this week to unmute yourself? DM me, email me, send a smoke signal, whatever you need to do. Let me know what you're going to do differently. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone you know and leave a 5-star review on Apple. This helps me spread our message of empowerment to more people worldwide. Let's do this.